So guess what word is included in the expression I picked for today?
What word?
Yes.
Okay.
And a Spanish word, of course, because we're talking about Spanish expressions in this show, because this show is called
Just a Spanish Phrase.
And every show we discuss the origin and the usage of a Spanish expression.
That's right. So you're asking me what word? I have to guess. Okay, all right. Looking back at some of the previous episodes we've done recently, one of them stands out because it has been featured in multiple expressions.
Oh, I think you got it.
Oh, did I actually not fall for your trap? For once?
For once, you didn't.
I solved the puzzle?
Let's see. What's the word?
Gato.
Of course. We've already used so many expressions with gato. I could not help. I could not resist but go online and see. I need more expressions with gatos.
Okay, but wait, Maria, before you start.
Uh-huh.
Please tell me we're not going to hurt any cats in this expression because we've talked about skinning cats, about cats with 3 legs.
No cats will be heard in the recording of this episode.
Okay.
No worries.
That's a relief.
So the expression we're going to talk about today is called Cuatro gatos.
Oh.
4 cats. How would you, is there an equivalent in English to that?
That's great. A great question. There actually isn't. I could be wrong, but I have dug a little bit in the past for this expression because it's one of those that simply doesn't have an equivalent. And of course, if somebody can think of one,
please email us.
Yeah, please email us. But first you need to know what it means. Cuatro gatos, 4 cats, is used to talk about like sparse attendance or when something just doesn't have that many people present.
Exactly. Like, let's say you have a stand-up comedy show and you're very excited. You invite everybody and then you go there on stage and there's like 4 cats. Cuatro gatos. You're like, oh no, there's nobody.
The closest thing I can think of in English is it's sort of, it's a colloquial way of saying there's not that many people here. You would say there's just a handful of people here.
Okay.
So that's an expression.
It's not as fun as Cuatro gatos.
Nowhere near as fun.
All right, then you know the origin. Oh, but wait. Guys, if any of you listening out there know an equivalent expression of Cuatro gatos in English, you can email us at amigos@newsinslowspanish.com because this Just a Phrase podcast is part of the News in Slow Spanish family of programs.
That's right, where you can listen to current events at a slow pace to learn Spanish. But here, we're doing it in English, of course, because we want to bring people in to savor these expressions, to appreciate them and fall in love with them like we do.
Even if you don't speak Spanish or if you're like a very beginner, you can like wow people when you say, hey, in this restaurant, there's only 4 gatos. And they will be like, wow, you already know.
Even if only 4 gatos are listening to this right now.
Exactly. Who knows how many gatos are listening to this show.
So why cats? Why gatos?
Okay. So I've read, as usual, there's many possible origins of the expression. One of them is that it comes from the iconic bar, coffee place, cabaret in Barcelona called Los Cuatro Gatos, where Picasso, Dali, and all the modernists used to like meet there. And that coffee place, which I have visited and I love it, it's so beautiful. That was inspired by Le Chat Noir.
I've heard of that one. Yes.
This famous iconic, I think it was made by Toulouse-Lautrec.
It is.
Paintings, with
the poster of the black cat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So supposedly this is one origin, but
okay, so I'm going to open now what you sent me earlier because, of course, we were keeping the expression a mystery so you could play that trick on me, even though my superior intellect was able to figure it out. Not superior to you. I'm not saying that.
It's okay. It's all good. It's all good.
Make sure that I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I figured it out.
I know you would never say that.
I would never say that. But here I see that there's another possible origin. Let's see. So looking at this, in the year 1085, the king of Castilla, Alfonso VI, so Alfonso VI, wanted to conquer Toledo. And key to that goal was a little plaza, a little town right nearby, which you may have heard of, Madrid.
Madrid, the current capital.
Exactly. That was of high strategic importance for the goals of the King Alfonso. So they needed to get Madrid first. But the problem was that this was a very fortified, very well protected location occupied by Muslims. And they had a very high wall. So what did they do? Eventually, the king found a young guy who was an excellent climber. And this guy climbed the fortification and reached the top of the wall and sent down a rope so that the king's soldiers could climb up and storm Madrid and take it by surprise.
And somebody said,
yes,
wow, he climbs like a cat. And since then, they call people from Madrid gatos.
What a weird origin for a nickname.
Yes, this is from a website called alsur.pl. It's a blog post. But I think it makes sense.
Yes.
So since they call people from Madrid gatos, the expression cuatro gatos started to be used because even though nowadays Madrid has a lot of people, those who are originally from Madrid are cuatro gatos. There's very few cats.
Oh, because Madrid
very
is such
few
a
real Madrileños
cosmopolitan place.
Exactly.
That very few people are natives.
Exactly. So who knows? Like maybe it comes from El Cuatro Cats, maybe from the place in Barcelona. Maybe it comes from here. But bottom line, it refers to having very few people. And you know what that makes me think of?
What?
The ghost towns in Spain. Have you heard of the ghost towns in Spain?
Yes. And in fact, the government has done many things, like started programs to try to get people to move to these ghost towns because they're so sparsely populated. Solo tienen cuatro gatos.
Exactly.
Right?
And I was reading the other day an article on Infobae about this small town, actually in Madrid, that only has one gato. One person lives there.
Literally one person is the only inhabitant of a whole town?
Of the whole town. And it's just an actor who decided to buy this place for, guess for how much?
Oh, maybe he took advantage of one of these programs I was talking about.
Maybe.
So was it cheap?
Well, he bought an entire place that he can use as a resort for 12,000 euros.
What?
I know. Would you move to one of those ghost towns?
Oh, pero solo hay cuatro gatos. It's so empty.
With only cuatro gatos.
Okay, so on the one hand, I can own my own villa for a bargain, but then what do I do all the time?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we can make a studio and record this podcast.
That wouldn't be so bad.
Okay, let's do it. Let's buy a gigantic villa in a ghost town with cuatro gatos in Spain.
And it would be very quiet, which is really good for recording.
Exactly. Yeah. We won't have to stop when the firefighters
You might be onto something. You might be onto something.
Trying to convince you to move to a place where there's only cuatro gatos. No, I think I will go crazy. I need to go to the theater. I need to go to restaurants, even though I love my solitude.
Right. Si solo hay cuatro gatos, if there's only one other person living in one of these villas in the whole town, who's gonna run the restaurants?
Exactly.
Who's gonna run the everything?
Yeah, you need places like Los Cuatro Gatos in Barcelona to meet with friends and discuss ideas. And I like, creative places. Not too much though, but not too little.
I think I'm with you. I need the activity. I need the people.
Yeah.
No puedo con cuatro gatos.
Cuatro gatos is too much.
I need a little more action than that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So this was our episode for today. Just a
Spanish phrase.
I hope you enjoy this Cuatro Gatos and we'll see you next time.
Ciao.